Hello and welcome to a brand new Timberborn series we're going to be calling Drowned Nightmare Mode. So if you've watched Real Civil Engineer's current Timberborn series where he's on that map that continuously fills with water, it's going to be that same map, but we have a couple of different twists we're going to do to it that I think are going to be a whole lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get started. Going to click on our new game here. Iron Teeth, as always, favorite faction. Going to go ahead and select Drowned V2. I did have to import it and update it to the new standard for Timberborn maps since we are running an experimental version, but works perfectly fine. It's exactly the same. Go ahead and select difficulty. This is where it gets fun, because normally on a typical Timberborn playthrough, if you're playing easy mode, the droughts are going to be shorter. They're going to be less frequent. If you play hard mode, the droughts are going to be frequent. They're going to be longer. And obviously easy is supposed to be easy, hard is supposed to be hard, but this one is flipped. Remember, because the map fills up with water, there's only the one outlet, and the object is not to drown. So hard actually becomes easy because it has more frequent droughts, and easy becomes hard. But we don't do stuff halfway here, so we're going to go to custom difficulty, and we're going to make it so that our temperate seasons are 21 to 28 days, and then our droughts are 0 to 0 days. That's right, no droughts whatsoever. We're just going to have a completely consistent water flowing out of our water source blocks, and the objective is going to be not to drown. Everything else stays the same. We'll go ahead and get started, and I'll tell you all about the rest of this in just a second. Alright, so in keeping with tradition, we're going to call this Beaverburg 8. And here come our 7 adults and 4 children. Let's go ahead and pause so we can get our bearings before we dive right in, because there is a lot we're going to have to do really, really quickly. So, here's the map. You start at the quote-unquote highest point outside of the edge, obviously. And the objective is to avoid having your district center and all of your stuff inundated with the water, which will happen as water comes out of these different areas on the map that, well, water flows out of, water sources and all that. You got 3 of them here, and then you have a couple other spots on the map where water comes out. You have one right here that kind of has this little stream that flows into the middle catch basin, and then you have these in the corner, kind of to give you a little bit of a head start, I guess, to not get drowned. This has to fill all the way up from these 2 water source blocks, and then it will cascade over the front side of this cliff face here and come down and fill up this area. And then there's a similar thing over here. It's a slightly bigger reservoir, and there is only the single water source block, so that will take probably a little longer to fill up. And then right here we have this waterfall comes down again into the center catch basin, and at the bottom of this, if we go to our hide water button, we do have an infinite metal source. Underground ruins, we have regular metal, obviously you probably saw right there and right there. Other than that, the map is just a typical Timberborn map. And we have the one outlet over here that is currently blocked by barriers. The land underneath the barrier right here is the same height as this piece right here. This land that I have my thing on. This would be above water if the barriers are removed. This island would be above water. And this would be above water. And then also this bit right here, and this and all that would all be underwater if the barriers are removed. If they are not, this and, well, maybe not even this, pretty much everywhere on the map would be flooded that's not on the outside. So obviously the objective is to get over here and get rid of these barriers as fast as humanly possible, which is certainly going to be one of our goals. But the beginning stage of the game is not going to be super bad, because in addition to having these water sources, we also have these down here, which, and I'd never seen this before until I had opened this up. We're going to go to the dev console so I can show you this real quick. These water source blocks are actually negative sources. They have -1 strength, which means they suck water up. You have 3 here, connected all the way up to this pool and this set of outputs that are all at +1. And then over here on the other side, we also have, where was it? Yeah, right here. You have these 3 are -1. And then you have these 2 at +1. And this one over here at +1. So until these overflow in the corners here, Where's the other one? Until these overflow in the corners here, the water level will not increase. It'll just stay at the same height that it currently is right now. But once these top over, and boy, let me tell you, once these top over, it's going to fill up quick. And obviously, we don't want that to happen. So one of the early goals, once we can actually unlock stairs, is going to be to get down here, put some stairs in, get these barriers out of the way so that water can flow around here into this catch basin, and then fill this all the way up before it starts flooding too bad. That's going to be fun. But we're not done there, because at the end of every cycle, remember we have 21 to 28 days. At the end of every cycle, I'm going to roll a die, 6-sided die, and each side of that die is going to represent 0.1 of a power add to each water source block. So if I roll the die and I get a 6, each of these water source blocks is going to go from 1 strength to 1.6 strength. If I roll a 1, it'll go to 1.1, and so on and so forth. You know how that goes. Every source block, there are 9. I think there are 9. There might be 8. There should be 9. Anyway, suffice to say, it's going to be a potential colossal disaster. But it's definitely going to be chaotic no matter what we do. Let's get out of dev mode. We're actually going to play the game now. But obviously our objective is going to be to try and keep everything dry as long as we can. Primary goal, of course, is going to be to get these barriers out of the way, but to get there we're going to have to unlock stairs and platforms, and to unlock those we have to have a forester, and of course to get that we have to have science, which means one of the very first things we're going to want to do is get science going. So I'm going to unpause the game, so we're actually, playing the game, and we're going to, very first thing, place an inventor right here next to our district center, get them to start on that as soon as we start harvesting trees, which we will now do by putting in, I think if I put it here, I can still get to most of these trees from both sides. We do have stairs, natural slopes, I guess, built in here, which we will take full advantage of. Put one there, and then put another one down here. I think I can still reach most of this stuff. Yeah, put that there. We'll get these popped in first. Looks like they're already doing that, so they can start cutting trees as soon as we identify which trees can be cut. This is going to be a little bit like drinking through a fire hose for the, well, probably the first 2 episodes, if we make it that far. This is kind of unprecedented territory. I'm not even sure if this is going to end up being good content, but I figured it was about time to try some truly insane, depraved amount of difficulty on this game, because we just kind of breezed through everything. The harder mode ended up kind of being a joke after the first 5 episodes. But we still had a lot of fun with that, and even if this ends up being only 2 or 3 episodes before our beavers all drown, well, I guess they can't technically drown, but they can be starved to death when all the farms flood. Even if it ends up being a short series, I think it's still going to be a lot of fun. So they're going to go ahead and get to work cutting these trees down. And I actually am going to go ahead and incentivize them to cut specific trees down, at least over here, because we have to have water sucked out of here so our beavers can drink, right? So I'm going to have them cut down, I think, what was it again? These trees right here, these 5, as soon as this guy's done, he's going to cut these down, and then I'm going to put in our water pump there, so we can start pumping water. I'm going to try to avoid building too much infrastructure down here, because this will be the first stuff that gets flooded. So for us to build a farm, if I put it up here, they can still access most of the land down here. So I'm going to stick that guy right there. Give him a path there. Then, of course, figure out exactly where I can plant, which I think should still be everywhere. Just for right now, since this is the only area of the map that's actually green. I'm going to plant a whole bunch of carrots there. Going to plant some potatoes as well. Get them in there to start taking care of that just as soon as they have enough for the farmhouse. But of course, they're going to be building the inventor first because, well, we need the inventor. because then we can research the forester, which we will build up here. If we build it down here and it gets flooded, it's pretty much game over. So that's it's just not going to be a good time. So we're going to try and keep all the critical infrastructure up at the very top right here, and it is going to be interesting. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work, but we're gonna do our best. So they are currently cutting trees down. This guy is, we can go double speed. I'm going to try to, we're going to have to use triple speed in the very beginning for some of it because there's not going to really be that much going on except for specific parts of building things. But I'm going to do my best not to get too fast too quickly. We do need these guys to just hurry up and finish this thing. If I can just get that to 100%. Yeah, there we go. Go back down to 18. We're going to have somebody cooking up inventions here in the morning. And we'll start accruing our points. It might actually be smart of us to have 2 of these. I'm not sure that I want to commit to that because that would take out another member of the workforce and also take up an additional 12 logs that we could spend on things that actually matter. Although, to be honest, having the forester first in, I don't know, within the first 6 days, I think I could maybe get to if I had 2 of them, might actually be advantageous, because don't forget we also have to unlock the stairs, and those are 70, and the platforms are 100, 150. We'll probably need both the single and the double. Because I'll tell you what we're going to do, is we're just going to come straight out. I think the math ends up still working out on this with our pathing distance, but we go all the way in a straight line. This can't be here. We go all the way in a straight line out here. We'll be able to then just build platforms to come out and get these 2 barriers, which I'll go ahead and click demolish on so I don't have to worry about forgetting that later. We can just build these out here. They'll demolish those and everything will be fine. But we do have to get there. Go ahead and prompt these to be demolished. We're going to have to, probably the first staircase we build is going to be down here to get rid of that. Because like I said, as this fills up, the longer we can keep this area with all the berries from flooding, the better. So that's going to be quite the ordeal if that floods. So let's put our gatherer flag down here as well. They can start getting these berries. We have some up here as well. We're going to be planting some at the very top here before we get too far once we have our forester in place. So all of that being said, we actually have the wood right now to build a second one of these, and we will. We're going to get this farmhouse started on planting stuff. And then, do we have our space cleared? We sure do. Let's get our water pump in. I'm actually going to do the water pump first instead of the inventor. Because that is kind of important, you know? Let's give ourselves a 20-hour workday so we can get this, hopefully, something else put in here. Otherwise, stuff's going to get real ugly real quick. I think I can put pathway here and still get away with putting my stuff in the correct spot. Or is this going to be like that? Yeah. So we just want stuff to be connected here and leave a little bit of space behind for storage if we have to. Now we're all thirsty, but we're not going to die of thirst yet. We just have to get them to come in here and finish building. In fact, we'll go ahead and turn on our turbo mode because, well, there's not really much else we can do right now. Go down to 1 worker in the farm just so harvesting can occur before I forget to hire anyone back. All right, this is done. Now they're going to start pumping. And in a couple days, we'll have carrots. A couple days after that, we'll have potatoes, which will require a grill, which we will do. But we're not quite there yet. What we can do is we can start building some storage for things that are going to be life-sustaining for our beavers. I'm going to go ahead and put in water storage here. We're going to put in log storage here. We're going to put in, come on, put in plank storage here before I forget, because we're going to be having to make those before too long. Of course, these all take logs to build, which are currently not in enormous supply, so we are going to have to be careful about rationing these things out. But there are enough trees to support everything that we're going to be building, I think, based off of a quick glance and counting in my head of how many logs we're going to get out of these pine trees. So the MO right now is to get to the point where we can unlock the forester. And then, of course, we'll have to put in a lumber mill to start making planks. We're not going to do that exactly right yet because we do want to make sure we have water storage, which we now do. Log storage, which we now do, and plank storage, which I think they just finished. So that is looking nice. 48. Yeah, we're gonna have enough to do a forester real quick. In just a few moments here, we'll get that placed down. I don't know. Oh, I didn't mark the rest of these as cuttable now because I wanted them to get a head start. So now that's taken care of. He has something to do. Now get me to 60 before the end of the night. 58, 59, 60. All right, pause. Unlock the forester. Positioning this guy is going to be interesting because I really probably should have it all the way up here, but that is going to limit the space that we can grow our trees in until the map starts flooding again. If I put it down here, okay, that's really not that much better. So I'll tell you what, we'll just stick that guy right there, and we'll plant some trees. It's going to be pines. Pretty much has to be pines for us to actually get anywhere. I think I can put in a couple more. Yeah. We'll just replant all of that. He can reach everything over here. That's fine. And he can't do anything right now because he doesn't have any... take this out of turbo mode. He doesn't have any planks. So we're going to come right here. Put in that thing and a power wheel because we can't make engines yet. And the Iron Teeth don't have access to windmills, even though that's how their inventors function, apparently. I don't know. It just seemed kind of like a real head scratcher there. So he's got all of his logs. He doesn't have any planks. So now, well, I guess they're just going to build the rest of these anyway. So that's fine. We'll stick those there. The farm is farming. We are still accruing our science, which, as a reminder, next thing we're going to unlock is going to be stairs, which we will then place somewhere around here so we can get rid of these blocks. And then we have chestnut trees right here. Some of them actually have chestnuts on, so we can start harvesting those for food. We'll need to build a grill before too long. Are we actually harvesting berries? Yes, so we actually need storage for berries. In addition to, I think, we're going to need to put in a breeding pod. Yes, I know, we're super early and we don't have a ton of resources, but we have to start making more beavers or stuff is not going to go well. It's going to be a bad time. So let's pause our lumber mill real quick while they still get the rest of these power wheels for us. Power wheel components. And I'm going to put in a small warehouse since it only takes a couple logs for berries. So this guy can keep harvesting because we need to store as many of these as we can. The farmhouse will be able to store all of the harvest as that comes in. And remember, we have a very small population, so it's not really going to be an issue of not having enormous food storage. That won't be a problem for quite some time. But we do have the ever looming threat of having to increase the output on all these water sources at the beginning of cycle 2. Which, depending on how fast we end up going and how long it actually lasts, is probably going to be the end of this video when we find out our fate for the next episode. Nice cliffhanger for you to torture you until we do another episode of this. But we'll get there when we get there. For right now, we're just waiting and trying to get the power wheel up and running. Fortunately, it seems like that is going to be a pretty trivial thing. So we'll put on turbo speed, let them get their 4 hours of sleep, and then wake up and do it again. Yeah, you can see this is not changed level, but it's going to very soon because look how high this already is. We got maybe another 3 or 4 days before this completely overflows. My money's probably closer to 3. This one's going to be a little kinder to us. It's going to be probably another week. But here we go, and now that we can unpause this, get them going, I'm going to lower the priority on the lumberjack flags. Get them, actually probably should just lower the priority on the inventors too, before we get too comfortable. But once we have enough planks for our forester, probably are going to have enough science for the stairs in just a second here, so we can unlock those and get those going. I know it's going to be a whole lot of stuff real quick at the very beginning of this thing, but if we can get past the first, I guess we'll just say the first cycle, I really think it's going to be something cool. A nice challenge for us. So they're going to build the forester, and then we'll put our stairs there with the other planks. We have a few trees left, so we want to make sure we're not going to turn everything into planks. But we do need at least another 7 at this exact moment. So turn that on. Actually, we can go triple speed now because, well, it's bedtime. And we are actually breeding, which is good. Starting to harvest some carrots. Love to see that. Everybody's got a job. We're looking nice. We're going to have to start figuring some other stuff out here in a second, now that we have to have other jobs filled up. Where did they take from? The inventor? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Could this guy actually cut anything right now? No, so I'm going to pause that one and free up labor again. Yeah, so this guy is, well, obviously planting. We probably should stop making more planks. I need to get another 4, actually. Another 3. Let's put a staircase there. I think, yeah, because if I can get this done, then we can start harvesting these chestnuts, and I can also cut these down for wood if we ever need to. So we'll keep that in mind here. How are we looking on this? We have 3 planks here. This one is just about done. Now the actually, do they put all 4 in here? Yeah, we're gonna pause. We're gonna pause those 2. Looks like they've already gotten rid of those, which means we no longer need these stairs, which means we can demolish them, which means this can be picked up since we have storage for it. If you don't build the storage, they can't put it somewhere, and you're going to get in real big trouble. So, glad we were able to get that done. They'll be able to pick that up in a second. Looks like that's what they're about to go do, and we'll have those, well, most of those planks recovered. And now over here, we're going to put in a second gatherer flag. Don't worry, it's not going to... Actually, can I? Oh, that's an idea. I did not think that would work. Yeah. We'll put that one there. Eventually, I'll probably... Now we can have both for now, but I want to get these chestnuts. So we can store those, and we can put in a grill, which I think we have the wood for. We will when the rest of these trees grow, or I could cut some of these chestnuts. But now we're almost... Well, I guess not really almost. Maybe within the next day or 2 we'll have enough to start researching platforms. Which I might actually research the double platform first, because that is the first piece I can build as a double, as well as most of the ones down here will end up being doubles, and then we'll research the single when we get access to that, because it's going to be a race against time to get this whole path done before the end of cycle 1. If it is only 21 days, we might not make it. We genuinely might not make it. But we'll see. So I'm kind of hesitant to build too much of anything else at the moment, because I know this is going to take it's going to take another, I don't know, 8-9 days. Fortunately, we have a couple trees up here that are a little closer, but it is looking like we're going to be cutting some of these down. So I'm just going to go ahead. I think this guy can still reach that. I'm going to go ahead and say cut these 3 down, because we did just harvest those. Some of these are still eligible to be actually used, so we'll take care of that. I'm going to put in... I guess we could just go ahead and put a grill in, because we are going to need to make the other food. Let's stick that right there. We'll start grilling. We actually have the chestnuts. Yeah. We'll start grilling chestnuts. See, the water is increasing, because guess what? We're spilling over here. So this is exactly why I didn't put anything down here. I'm hoping this doesn't completely fill up before we have access to this over here, or else we're going to be kind of in trouble. So what we'll do right now is start planting some more stuff up here. Because remember, it's free to plant. It costs you nothing. And it just might save your life. Or the life of a beaver you love. I guess we didn't need to keep that open, but, well, it's usually pretty smart to keep your options open. Alright, so we already have the warehouse of that. We're going to have a warehouse of grilled chestnuts. As soon as they can get started with all of that stuff. And we're getting close to having enough science to unlock the double platform. We might have to sacrifice the rest of these chestnut trees to start building and have enough time. So I'm going to go ahead and put these staircases in. There's going to be one more staircase probably right around here on top of platforms once we get to that point. And how are we doing on our beaver baby? Yeah, looking good. Wow, that was fast getting up to that much storage for chestnuts. Unfortunately, I can't build any more because I don't have any more wood. But we will very slowly get up to that point. Has this guy planted all of his stuff yet? No? Okay. Well, we'll get there. And on comes day 11. As soon as we get to 160, I am going to research that double platform. 150, rather. There we go. And we'll start with that. Come down here. Do the exact same thing all the way down. That'll get us on the perfect level. Then we'll put in our staircase here. And those pathways as such, I believe that should be right about at the end of the district range. We have not modified that for this one. We did on the previous playthrough because it was a huge map, but this one should be okay. And now they're going to start building all of these. I am going to have to unlock the single platform to get to go on top of this one. But for right now, it seems like everything is running pretty smoothly. We just don't have any wood to use. How close are we? I guess I could start cutting down the ones that aren't going to be around for too much longer. I don't think that's really that big of a concern. How soon are we going to get wood here? 61%, 54%, 7. Okay, I don't like that. 41, 42. Okay. Yeah, we definitely are going to switch this over to potatoes now. Because we don't have any more chestnuts. Or do we? Oh no, we still had chestnuts to do. Yeah. So I lied. We're gonna do chestnuts again. Because I thought we had those. Where did this thing go? Oh no, that has berries. So where are my? Oh, I guess we didn't have chestnuts. Why did I think? Come on. Why did I think we had chestnuts? All right, so none of these are anywhere close. I'm gonna just cut them down. I'll try to leave some of these in the back because we can definitely use this wood. And quite frankly, we need it. Did we make a beaver baby? We sure did. Okay, that's going well. I guess we'll make this a lower priority job. They're going to already go ahead and start building these. We're getting close to having 100 science so we can get this single level. Hey, there's our well-being. That's nice to see. I'm not going to worry about building a barracks because we don't have the wood for it. We just don't. It's too bad this is a lower level, or we could have a real good time taking care of all that stuff. I think we can get across here. Is this a oh, it's single? I could have left those stairs, but we almost have enough science to unlock the single layer, so we'll do that. 4 well-being, huh? Wow. We had 66 in the, the last playthrough. And then someone in the comments said something about somewhere in the 70s. That's clearly not happening in this one. This is an exercise in efficiency. I know I'm not the best at that kind of stuff all the time, but still fun. It's nice to try things that challenge the mind. So we'll put our... I think that should still be in range once this gets put in place. We'll see. We do have trees we can start cutting down now, which is good fun. Alright, let's put that single right there. And we'll just let them go at it as they have been. Yeah, because now this is going to get into some pretty dangerous territory. Once this entire area fills up, this is going to flood right here. And then we're going to be SOL for growing anything down here, at least until we can get some other stuff figured out. But now we have a relatively diverse food selection, kind of. Change this over to grilled potatoes, so they can actually store stuff there instead of just in the grill. That's looking nice. Now what we really need is for this construction to go a whole lot faster. And I think now that we're starting to build up logs as these trees grow and start to, seems kind of random that this one hasn't been cut down yet, which is strange. But we need planks, so we're going to go ahead and start making them. And hopefully we can start making some progress over here on our double platforms going across. So there's a lot to be done. A lot to be done. If we can get across here, I'm actually going to prioritize these, because these are going to be a little bit more important. Yes, I know I could have cheesed it with our small warehouses, but that's not in the spirit of the game. We did that in the last playthrough in the beginning, and a couple people were kind of irritated with me for doing that. But yeah, I could have gotten across there for 9 logs, but instead we'll do the correct way, and we'll use our 6 logs and 12 planks to get at these pine trees. Yeah, that is filling up quite quickly, isn't it? Quite quickly. Fortunately, once that happens, there is yet another substantially large area of land that has to be completely flooded before it goes up to the next level, but I don't think it's going to be as long of a time as you think it is. So we will need to continue trying our best not to be too terribly bad at the game. Man, we are just waiting on the planks, aren't we? Waiting on logs. We don't have logs. Somebody come cut down. Oh, I paused this. Duh. Unpause that. Maybe. That might help. Don't know why I didn't unpause it. Well, I got a couple ideas why I didn't unpause it. Oh, no. Alright, so that guy can finally go to work and start cutting those trees down. We didn't lose too much time for that. But man, is this going to be it's going to be tight. Trying to get this taken care of, because we don't have any logs over here. I think if we can get these, anybody here? Come over here. Yeah, harvest these chestnuts. We can at least have access to those. And then once we harvest these, I'm just going to cut these trees down because they're going to be gone soon. Yeah, let's just cut these down. No sense waiting when we could really use the space. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that gatherer flag as well, because we're not going to need that anymore. They'll just go cut down all the trees. And I think we really shouldn't... okay, now we have beavers dying of old age. That's probably why. Yeah, now we're in trouble here, because now our I almost call them inventors are not being staffed. These trees are all fully planted, so I'm gonna lower that priority. Now we're cutting down these trees, which means we're gonna have more planks, which means we're gonna have more bridges, which means we're gonna be able to get to these trees. It's just a never-ending cycle. And we do have a pretty good amount of food able to be stored in the farmhouse, which is nice. the gorilla can hold some potatoes, so I'm not worried about our beavers surviving so much as I'm worried about the land disappearing. I'm going to unplant. Now that this is starting to get to the point where it's going to flood very soon, I'm going to unplant these, and they'll just gather all of the resources they can. Probably would worry more about the potatoes than anything else. Just to gather all those up, because within the next day or two in-game, that is going to be completely underwater. So just harvest all the potatoes you can, because, well, we're going to need them. That's just all there is to it. We do still have a little bit of time. Now, if we can get this finished, got one more, looks like, yep. Start cutting these trees down. Looks like just a few are in range there. We're going to have to move that guy probably to... Oh, I don't want to have him come all the way down here because this is going to flood too. So it really can't. Oh, man, what a mess, huh? I guess we'll just... move them out of this one into that one. Not that big of a deal. We'll still be able to use the logs. How are we doing over here? Okay, we're actually making progress, kind of. Just gotta wait, because this is gonna flood very soon. Very, very, very soon. So come get these potatoes. Get the potatoes, and then we'll get the carrots out of here, but I want to make sure we at least get those. They're not even... I don't even think they can store the potatoes in the farmhouse. They have to go somewhere else. Yep, here comes the flood. Alright, so let's just not prioritize anything. Get these carrots. They're definitely going to go bad real quick. Alright, so this now has to go bye-bye. They'll harvest the berries. Oh yeah, look at all these trees and all these ones we planted down here. Hey, 5 well-being, nice. It's probably all that wet fur bonus, huh? So now we have another problem, which is going to be getting rid of these trees. We're going to have to plant some up here. I should have done this earlier. But these guys can't actually plant over here. So we're going to turn that up here as well. I guess basically this entire section is plantable. We just really need to make sure we get some trees up on the top of here before too long, or it's not going to be good. Good news is this is progressing reasonably fast. We very well could, before we get all the way down here, get to the end of cycle 1.5 to supercharge our water sources, which is going to be a very difficult problem to solve. Are these dead yet? They will die in 0.9 days, so why are you trying to harvest this stuff first? I guess that's because it's closer. I guess I can't really blame them, but it is disappointing nonetheless. Does he have... I guess we can give him some help. That's fine, but now they can come all the way over here. Okay, good. We're actually making decent progress. I'm pretty impressed. These are going to be dead in about 0.5 seconds, I'm sure. And we also need to plant berries. Berries, berries, berries. How did I get that far ahead of myself here? We're going to have the gatherer flag up here. Yeah, we'll do that. We're going to need a lot more berries than that. I can tell you that for sure. Give them something to do. Alright, this tree... thing. Actually, that can cut all of it, so we can get rid of this one, save another job. Okay, we're making progress. It's just not super fast. I am becoming increasingly concerned for our viability up here, not gonna lie. So to that end, I'm gonna plant some crops up here, just to be safe. Because you know how this works. we can very quickly find ourselves in an incredible crisis for literally no reason. At least they can still cut these pines down. These won't ever grow unless we manage to get the water level down, but I don't think water level is going to be going down. It will probably never be lower than it currently is unless we're able to start pumping water out, which if we can survive long enough to get these deep mechanical water pumps, I will be flabbergasted. It's much more likely we'll be able to get to the dynamite long before that. But we're going to see. We got to watch our cycle thing because there's not going to be any audible signal. It's just going to change because there's no drought warning now. But, you know, we're doing okay. We're making pretty decent progress. Okay, who's injured and why? How did you injure yourself? I guess working in the lumber mill is hazardous, isn't it? Well, it is what it is. We get a day 24 in cycle 1, so that's something to be thankful for. Because, man, it is going to be bleak if we don't get this taken care of. Fortunately, we're making decent time. And we have all these trees we can cut down here, too, so let's not forget that. Put this lumberjack flag there, and we'll mark these. Why is that? Okay. I don't know why that was red. We can have somebody cutting that down, and they can end up using that stuff as well. So is there some job I can sacrifice for that? Yeah, we'll go down to 1. Okay, we probably need a second breeding pod, in all honesty. But, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Or if we even really have the resources to support it at this point. Yes. I am becoming increasingly concerned very fast. Okay, now we're exhausted because you've had all these 20-hour days, huh? Oh, you'll be alright. I don't have... I really should have built larger warehouses, but again, we cannot afford to waste any resources. That is just a very dangerous position we find ourselves in. Alright, 14 planks. We're still going to need... Yeah, we're still going to need more than that, but at least we have this taken care of. I'm going to go ahead and prioritize this lumberjack flag. And I think... Yeah, gather flag is already not prioritized. The forester can be deprioritized. These have long since not been operable. We have the 2 builders here. I'm going to take down to 1 because, well, we're not building anything. See if we can get somebody in here to start. Yeah, we'll have logs right there. Hopefully we'll be a much... well, I mean, when I say we're not building anything, I mean we're not building anything over here. These are going to be more important to stock up on the logs and the planks and then just have them bum rush build this. So we can't really spare anybody right now. I don't want to pause the farm. We have... Do we not have raw potatoes? Alright, I'm going to lower priority on this thing as well. Can't lower priority on the water pump. This should absolutely not be occupied whatsoever. So if we actually have enough people available to do that, then we can hire these guys back to build. So we'll just tick that all the way up and then see where we go from there. Now we are close enough now. We only have 6 of these left to build. So we'll need 24 planks. We already have 14. These guys are, they're doing their best. They are certainly trying. Good news is we have enough supplies. It's just going to be really, really tough, because this is definitely going to start flooding. It's just going to depend on how everything else is going. Man, we are cutting it close for getting this done before the first cycle is over. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to make it. We're going to find out. Okay, so now I have 15 planks. This requires 16, so I think I think we can just go ahead and pause both of these. Have everyone working as builders. Yep, that's looking good. Get this thing turbocharged. Done. Because we have the logs. We have everybody. We have 4 builders anyway. Oh, we were so close. We were so close, friends. I think this is going to line up real nice. We've got 3 more of these left. If we get a day 28, we can actually have this done. Let's find out. Oh, all right. So here's the thing. Cycle 2, day 1. This isn't completely finished. But we must honor the rules of the game. And now I'm going to have to go roll my dice. And we're going to find out how we're changing these water sources. So give me a second and I'll be right back. I'm going to actually inset the video and editing of when I do the dice roll. So sit tight. All right, so here we are in an online dice roller. We're going to go ahead and roll our d6 one time. Oh, thank God. It's a 1. All right, so that's gonna be real helpful. Let's go ahead and jump back into the game and change all those water sources. All right, so I'm going to leave the game paused while we do this. But now we open up the developer console, and all of these get changed to 1.1. Not 0.1. No, we got to do this correctly. 1.1. That did change, right? Okay, good. This could have gone so much worse. It could have been 0.6. That would have been, almost certain death. Almost guarantee we wouldn't last another episode entirely. But 1.1 is a very, very nice charitable way to start that out. But let me assure you, the chaos is guaranteed moving forward. Let's come over here. Where is that buried under here? Yeah. All right. 1.1 there. And then these last 2 here. 1.1 and 1.1. So we also have these, the ones that suck up the water. We're not going to be messing with those. Those are going to stay at -1. Get out of developer mode. And there we go. Unpause. Back to turbo speed. And let's get them to finish this section right here. And hopefully we have another 28 days before we have to do the increase in the water flow again. Because we are so close. We are very, very close. Get them to finish this. I think it should be pretty fast. We might not have enough planks. I might have miscalculated. Oh, okay, they built that. That means we do have enough. All right, so here they come, putting in the materials, bring us the planks, hopefully before everyone can go to bed. Hopefully they can remove this stuff before everyone goes to bed. Actually, we can virtually guarantee that by extending the workday to 24 hours. Here they come. All right, is somebody else coming along to take care of this? Yes, build it. All right, now somebody else can come in and demolish this. And now that it's actually the next day, we can put our working hours back. And there we go. There's one demolished. Why is there? Oh, I put that path there when I did this. That's right. Okay, so let's also get rid of that one. Not that that's going to matter. There you have it, friends. We have successfully completed the very first step to ensuring that our destruction will at the very least not be instant. Now, this is all still going to flood, yes, but now we stand a fighting chance. And we're going to be in for it still, so don't worry, it's still going to be a huge, enormous struggle. But could be worse. I'll go ahead and put a water pump there because this is going to flood. There is no way to prevent that. But we can at the very least stem the tide and work to, I guess I'll just unplant all of this too. We can work to slowly enclose this, put some levees up, and then eventually pump it out with our drinking water pumps. But that is going to require a lot of wood that we don't have, and that we can pretty much now only grow over here. But we also have the ability, now that we have our platforms, to go across here and start getting at these trees. We just have to be able to get over there. So I'm going to go ahead and put in, I think I can get away with that. Put these 3 here. These plants are all dead, so they don't have any feelings. That's fine. Mark these for cutting. And then we just have to have some place that's not flooded for our guys to come in and start taking care of that. So that's going to be the fun part. I think we're going to end up having to do one of these, maybe across here. Gather these carrots. I'm going to actually prioritize that. I can already hear the people. Why are you spending planks to do this stuff? Well, first of all, we have to actually make some. Well, that's because in order for us to collect these trees, the what's this called? Lumberjack flag? It's late at night, I'm sorry. The lumberjack flag has to actually be able to be used, which means it cannot be flooded, which means it has to be elevated, which means there has to be stairs, which means this has to come down like so, because I can't unlock these spiral stairs yet, as much as I would love to. But friends, that is where we're at. We have these bushes are not going to bear us any more, not going to give us any more berries for another 15 days. So we're actually going to want to make sure that we harvest. Oh, we're not in range for that. We're not in range for that. Gatherer flag needs to move to down here. I think this is probably going to be... Actually, this would be a better spot if we can actually harvest this before it floods. But it is it's definitely flooding, so we're going to have to swallow our pride and just do this. Get them to harvest these berries before they go bad, which they will in about 7 days. Okay, but we have this taken care of now. We're going to leave this in place because eventually I would like to use it again. But man, we are going to be in a tight race. And water is flowing out of here, yes, but we are still very, very much in danger. And I think as the sun is going to come up on day 5 here, this is going to be a good spot to stop for today. So hopefully you're enjoying the insane, ridiculous challenge that this is going to be. I don't know how many more videos we're going to get out of it, but I figured this would be a fun way to take a look. Why did I put this down in the flooded spot? I figured it would be a fun way to put a new spin on a challenge that has gotten a lot of traction over on other parts of this wonderful website we call YouTube. So I'll just put that right there. It should still be able to be done. We have enough wood to do planks and everything. But yeah, so let me know in the comments, what do you think of this challenge? What do you think of the idea that we have here? And what would you like us to try and use as a strategy to survive a little longer here? Because there's certainly a lot of work that has to be done. Fortunately, since we have this opened up, it is not ever going to get any higher than, hopefully, about the lip right here. Unless our water source blocks end up being increased mightily over the next several cycles. But yeah, that is where we're at. We got a couple other things that they can take care of, but for right now, that is, excuse me, all the time we've got. It is late, and I gotta finish this video up, but hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Happy Easter to all of you who celebrate. And of course, no live stream today because I'll be involved with all sorts of family activities. We'll have another video, most likely Ostriv, on Monday. We'll be continuing this series as we go as well, and finding out different fun things that might prevent our beavers from all drowning. So once again, thanks for being here. Any other comments you have as well, even if you just want to say hi, have any questions, comments, concerns, or whatever's on your mind, drop them down below. I always read every comment. I can't always respond, but I do read them, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend a little bit of time with me and everyone here in our fantastic community. We've got a lot of amazing support in the last couple of weeks, closing in on 5,000 subscribers. I can't believe it, and we've got some fun stuff planned when we get there. So I hope you, if you haven't already, please consider joining the community we have here. It's absolutely free, and I'd like to think we have a lot of nice people here. Would love to have you be part of it. But until next time, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.